Coming up next on Arizona Horizon, our weekly update of activity at the state capitol with legislative leaders. Also tonight, a Pearl Harbor veteran is honored with a special flight. And we'll take a look at the economic impact of hosting the NCAA Final Four. Those stories next on Arizona Horizon.
Arizona Horizon is made possible by contributions from the Friends of Arizona PBS, members of your PBS station. Thank you.
Good evening and welcome to Arizona Horizon. I'm Ted Simons. Each week we welcome state legislative leaders for an update of the current legislative session, and this week it's the Democrats' turn. Joining us now is Senate Minority Whip Martin Quesada and House Minority Leader Rebecca Rios. Good to have you both here. Thanks for joining us. Let's get it going here with yet another measure targeting initiatives, this one regarding strict compliance with the law when gathering petitions. I know Democrats weren't all that excited about this one. Why?
Well, this is another bite at the apple for the Arizona Chamber of Commerce. They just passed a bill that would have made it much more difficult for the community to put initiatives on the ballot by taking away the pay for this. Now, this would make it easier for them to toss those measures that do make it onto the ballot off of the ballot for purely technical reasons.
Your thoughts on this? I mean, again, supporters, and Senator Debbie Lesko was one pushing this, basically saying it's the law, comply with the law.
You know, make no mistake, these are all payback for Prop 206 passing. And this bill literally seeks to disqualify those petitions on technicalities, if the margins are off, if there's a typo there. So these are directly aimed at making it difficult, if not impossible, for citizens to get initiatives passed now. And not only did they do the strict compliance bill, but then also today in the House there was yet another striker, and both of these were strikers. These make it very difficult for the public to come in and testify. It's hard to even know what's going on, and that limits public input.
Explain what a striker is.
So a striker is where the original bill, the entire content of that bill is taken out and it's replaced with something entirely new with very little notice and very little opportunity for the public to know what's coming forward in a bill.
Basically
or to search for that bill.
Like
it's
a zombie
bill,
yeah.
Exactly.
Okay, so both of these bills, let's get back to the first one here real quickly. Currently there's substantial compliance. If a judge sees substantial compliance, that's enough. This says strict compliance. Yes. Again, for those who say, if it says you're supposed to put a margin here and it's supposed to be capitalized there, do it. You say,
well, there's a reason why there's different standards of review, different standards of compliance. And right now, a judge will typically want to always err in favor of respecting the will of the voters. And what that means by substantially compliant is that if you, for the most part, follow all the rules, but you make technical errors, you make you use a wrong font, a 12-point font rather than an 11-point font, or your margins are half an inch rather than 3/4 of an inch, but all the other intent of the voter is still accurate, is still true, he's going to give that deference to the voter. If it's a strict compliance measure, then any of those technicalities would toss it off.
And that would happen in the court. You think that if this bill passes, then you get the wrong font, you put the wrong initial there, don't put a period after initial, it's gone.
Unfortunately, the way the bill is written, that is the concern, and clearly the intent.
Do you think that's constitutional?
I don't think that they're very much concerned about constitutionality. Again, you know, constitutionality oftentimes is having 1631 and a governor who'll sign off on it.
The other bill that you mentioned was heard today, targets initiatives. This one, paid petition circulators, they have to do certain things, register with the Secretary of State's office, for example. Again, what's the problem with that?
Well, again, now we're looking at a striker that was put on a bill that had to do with overprescribing psychotropic medications for children in the foster care system. So you literally had people that showed up in committee to testify for the underlying bill, which was a good bill. They had no idea this striker was coming up. So now we have a striker that completely guts that bill, changes it entirely, and again, provides more onerous steps with regard to the petition process. You have to have a circulator have a registration number that needs to be on the bottom of every single petition. You know, have circulators that have to sort the petitions that they hand in. I mean, it's just a bunch of onerous steps, again, aimed at making it very difficult to get petitions in and approved and on the ballot.
I know Republicans we've had on the program say that the idea behind citizens initiatives is that they are citizen initiatives. And right now the process has been sold to the highest bidder, and citizens aren't so much behind it, but big money types are. That's why you have paid petition circulators. That's why you have some of these other things that they see need to be narrowed, need to be toughened. Are they wrong?
I think they are. I mean, for the first part, we've had paid signature gatherers in Arizona for many, many decades now. Even back in the 40s, I was looking at a case where the Supreme Court recognized the need for paid circulators to be involved in this process because of the high amount of signatures that are required to qualify for the ballot. It is impossible to do it on a volunteer basis alone. So without paid circulators, it's just not going to happen. Now, I don't think that you can use that to say that big money has taken over our initiative and referenda process, because at the end of the day, these are Arizona voters who are signing their names on the petition, and if they don't want that process, whatever the support is for that measure, if they don't support it, they won't sign and they won't vote for it at the end either.
Has the citizen gone out of citizen initiatives?
You know, I think at this point, if it hasn't, it's certainly on its way out because it's going to be cost prohibitive. They have set the bar so high. And again, this is all very intentional. They do not want citizen initiatives. And again, I firmly believe this is in payback for Proposition 206. The other thing that's very interesting is you now have 3 separate bills that deal with these issues. So if a citizen wanted to put this issue as an initiative on the ballot, they have to do it in 3 separate ballot initiatives. That's very strategic. That makes it, again, very onerous, very expensive, very confusing, and almost impossible for folks to do.
Pretty much flooding the zone there.
Absolutely.
There has been an argument that a concern regarding hypocrisy that does not involve petitions gathered for the nominating process, but it does for the initiative process. And the response is you can vote people out every 2 years. Once these citizen initiatives become law, it's very difficult because of the Voter Protection Act, which keeps Congress, President Company excluded perhaps, from messing around with what the voters wanted to have happen. Do they have a point?
You know, there's a lot of arrogance that goes on when you bring up to the other side, we should abide by these same rules. We should have to do the same things that we're requiring citizens to do for initiatives. And those folks will tell you that, you know, somehow the voters were very intelligent, knew exactly who they were voting for to put in the legislature, but somehow they lost that common sense when they voted for these initiatives. So it's very hypocritical, and the same rules don't apply, and they don't want the same rules to apply.
Do you think the same rules should apply? Again, with the idea that you can be voted, the voters get to make a decision on you every 2 years.
Right.
If a citizen's initiative comes through, it takes a whole lot of work to get another initiative passed because the Voter Protection Act means lawmakers have no chance.
Right, right. You know, I think we should have to abide by the same measures that the initiative and referenda go through. Right now, what we've done with these 2 bills is we've allowed for candidates to have a much clearer and easier path to getting onto the ballot. And what they don't mention is that although each initiative and referenda is one measure, we vote on hundreds of bills every single year. So those are hundreds of laws that we enact every single year that you can't repeal, you can't go back and fix all of those. So the vast number of issues that we are having major input in is tremendous compared to one initiative.
These 3 attempts so far, and counting, I guess, attempts to toughen or put roadblocks as far as initiatives are concerned, do you think they're constitutional?
I think there's big questions about their constitutionality. Back to the strict compliance measure, there's a reason why there is a lower level of review given by the courts to initiative measures, and it's because we do need to recognize the will of the voters. There are other courts that have mixed results in reviewing these standards as well. So I think that this is ripe for a legal challenge, and if at the end of the day all we're going to be doing is costing our taxpayers more money.
I know this was stopped in the Senate, this bill, but I want to get your thoughts on this as well. Regarding the sweep, the annual $90-some-odd million sweep of highway user fund money that oddly enough is supposed to go to highways, always winds up going to DPS, and it depends on, I guess, the will of the legislature and the governor or the leadership as to how much money actually from the fund goes to highway user fund. There was a bill to stop that. That bill has been stopped. Your thoughts?
Oh, it's wrong. If you look over the last decade, Republicans have swept nearly $1 billion of HERF funds. Those are local dollars that should be going to local roads, both building and maintenance. And this budget, the governor's proposed nearly another $100 million HERF shift. Now, if you go out into rural Arizona, those communities are hurting, and they need those funds to maintain roads, to build roads, to create jobs. I'm not surprised. It's very unfortunate. Now, my understanding is there's a rural caucus that's comprised of both parties that's supposedly going to be holding out for her funding in this budget. Now, what the amount will be, I don't know. I've heard $30 million, but clearly we need to stop that trend and stop sweeping and stealing HERF dollars.
Well, your thoughts on this? This happened in the Senate. Senate
Yes,
President Steve Yarbrough just basically said, I don't like this thing. I think it reminds a lot of Republicans of Medicaid expansion and the idea that an access director could levy some sort of fee or assessment as opposed to it being a tax, which is what they see it. They see this would be a vehicle license registration increase that would cover the money that's swept out. Again, is it the same kind of thing as Medicaid expansion?
No, I don't think it is at all. And everyone's forgetting to mention that the Medicaid expansion fee, if you want to call it that, was upheld by the courts. So this was something that's good law at this point. So, but what happened here in the Senate is this was an opportunity. It was a Senator Worsley amendment that he offered, and it was your 3 moderate Republicans that teamed up with the Democratic caucus to move this bill forward. You had the majority of the Senate that was approving for this HERF restoration funding, and Steve Yarbrough, in his role as president, decided to side with the minority and not allow this bill to go forward for a final vote. What
is the reasoning that this highway user fund can be so malleable?
Well, you look at the status of our roads in all of those rural counties, especially right now. They're hurting. They really are. And the way we have this tax set up now, it is not set up in order to even maintain the status of these roads now, much less improve them.
Why is this targeted, though? I mean, of all the places to go, why is this continually being swept? Again, I would imagine rural lawmakers cannot be happy about this.
They're not, but I mean, this is one of many places where there have been continual sweeps that directly impact local cities and towns. I mean, there's a real disregard, I think, when it comes to the governor and the Republicans in terms of local municipalities, and this has been an easy one to sweep. It's been a large pot to sweep, and so far they've gotten away with it.
All right, got to stop you right there. Good to have you both here. Thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate it. The commemorative Air Force Museum honored a Pearl Harbor veteran earlier this month. Producer Lauren Hornberger and photographer Rob McJanet were there to witness this remarkable flight.
I've got a lot more tomorrow yet. I don't know how many, though.
Born in 1918, Eugene Leonard is part of what's dubbed the Greatest Generation, those who protected our country during World War II. Senior Sergeant Leonard fought in the Pacific.
His whole fighting all the way across the Pacific, and it shapes the person.
The medals are symbols of his life as a soldier during World War II, battles that still live in his mind. Leonard was on guard duty at Pearl Harbor on December 7th when he saw the Japanese planes. He immediately focused on getting to the ammunition sheds.
So we wouldn't got ammunition. We got ammunition for the other people too, so they could stand up themselves.
Trying to break open the armory, they couldn't find any keys, so he used his .45 and took out the lock on it. Now they at least had some ammunition.
Despite his heroics, Leonard witnessed men die in front of him.
Well, it was the experience that I had to go through, and you live through that experience and hope it never happens again.
It's that kind of attitude that inspired Guy Cullenby to write the commemorative Air Force Museum about his friend.
Well, he's a modest guy, you know, and he saved a lot of people indirectly in his years as a skilled pilot instructor, airplane mechanic, and just the experiences alone, listening to them, really bring out the greatest generation and what they've done for us.
After hearing Leonard's story, the museum decided to take him on a flight free of charge. And for those who piloted the flight, it's an opportunity to say thank you.
For me personally, whenever I see somebody wearing a World War II veteran hat, which many of them do proudly, I go out of my way to walk up and thank them for the sacrifices they made for us.
For Leonard, it's an opportunity to experience new things. This was his first time on a Boeing B-17, an iconic aircraft of World War II. Over 12,000 B-17s were built for World War II. Today, only 12 remain. And one is here at the Commemorative Air Force Museum in Mesa. For those who get to fly in a B-17, it's an honor.
Oh, it's just a pleasure. You know, introducing somebody to this airplane, it's kind of an iconic aircraft of World War II, and being able to introduce veterans especially to this airplane and kind of tell people what it means and really explain what the airplane meant in terms of its contribution during World War II is an honor and a privilege.
Like the rest of the greatest generation, Leonard is defying the odds. 6 months ago, he suffered a stroke and has since lost his wife.
All the doctor says he shouldn't even be alive, so each day is, is very well appreciated, and something like this just brings back all the things in his life and stuff, and he just loves it.
Leonard's fighting spirit inspires those closest to him.
He is. He's a very good man. Very honest, church-going. It just makes me feel good to be part of him.
And he's a Marine. He's not lying down and woe is me, He just keeps fighting like the greatest generation always did.
How was the flight?
And Leonard says, even at 99, he's got more living ahead of him.
Yeah, it's smooth ride.
Yeah.
First step.
Was you able to see out the window?
I can spot everything. Everything's a new experience. It just keeps on going for life.
That was a long ways from here. I don't think you went up that far. I think he's overwhelmed today.
Finally tonight, our week-long coverage of the NCAA Final Four tournament in Glendale continues with a look at the economic impact of this major sporting event. Debbie Johnson is director of the Arizona Office of Tourism and co-chair of the Phoenix Final Four Host Committee. And Tom Sadler is president and CEO of the Arizona Sports and Tourism Authority. Good to have you both back on here. Thanks for We've had you on for so many times here leading up to this thing. It's happening.
It is happening, and we're excited.
What's the impact, economic impact of this?
Economic impact will be measured. I think it's one of those things that we're waiting to hear after the event. W.P. Carey will be doing a study for us, and we'll be releasing that, but we know it's going to be immeasurable. We're excited about it. We're excited about the short-term economic impact, and then really there's a long-term economic impact that goes with it as well for folks who are watching us on TV, seeing all the great things there are to see and do around Arizona as they're watching the games, who are then going to plan visits too.
How are these kinds of things measured? I mean, what goes into that process?
Well, essentially what we want to look at is indirect spending and direct spending. Certainly the economic impact study will use some multipliers that assist us in really getting our arms around what it meant to the valley and what it meant to the state. So it's a survey process conducted, as Debbie said, by the W.P. Carey Business School, and we look forward to seeing those results sometime, hopefully later this spring, early summer.
Direct spending by out-of-town visitors and organizations, what they do, and also groups maybe that create things, and those that all goes into the pot.
Absolutely. They will look at what is being spent by CBS out at the stadium, what's being spent downtown here in the way of concerts. In fact, the survey itself is really one that is administered to folks that are coming in from out of town. In other words, on this economic impact study, we're not going to survey folks that live here, just folks that came in from out of town, because those are new dollars coming in.
Right. As far as indirect spending and this ripple effect that goes on, what do you look for here? What are you expecting?
Well, we're expecting some big numbers, and that's the good news. But what we're expecting is people to come in and enjoy Arizona. And that's ultimately what we want, is people to come have a great experience, to see all there is to do in Arizona, to go eat at the restaurants, to experience lots of the attractions, to enjoy the games, and really enjoy their experience. We know then that those numbers trickle down. It means jobs. It means a future for a lot of people. So we're excited to see what that economic impact is, but we're more excited to have people come and see all there is to do in Arizona.
I was going to say the media exposure, a national television event. I mean, all we hear about is Phoenix.
International.
Phoenix, exactly. Phoenix, Road to Phoenix, all that kind of. How do you measure that kind of, that's advertising dollars.
And what we always say is it's advertising dollars that we couldn't afford to pay for. As the Office of Tourism, we have a limited budget, and this kind of exposure that we get from all of these mega events that we've had, and certainly this one is no exception. We get an exposure that you just can't measure, because people are watching us around the world, and they see the beauty of the Grand Canyon and Sedona and Phoenix and Southern Arizona, and they think, I want to go there in April. I want to go experience Arizona. And those are things that we know happen, but it's a hard thing to measure.
Yeah, I'd imagine it would be. Compare the economic impact of the Final Four to the other big events we've had out here, Super Bowl, for example.
Right. So the Super Bowl, it was reported it was close to $724 million in economic impact. The college football championship, I think, was $274 million. I'm not going to speculate as to what the Final Four will provide us, but we know that we're in that family to some degree. So we think, given that, as Debbie said, we have 4 different schools coming in from 4 different parts of the country, bringing their fans, filling up our hotels, really making a mark within our lodging and hospitality industry while they're here. And again, back to, and this is a little bit off subject, but back to what Debbie said, it's almost a 4-day postcard that we have from Arizona out to the country and around the nation, because we are going to be front and center for those 4 days of this celebration of college athletics and basketball.
I think Houston last year had somewhere around $300 million. Does that sound about right?
You know what, I'm not sure what their final report was, but probably in that neighborhood.
That ballpark, yeah.
I would guess, but I didn't see the report.
Tom mentioned different parts of the country coming out here for these games. Now you got North Carolina, you got South Carolina, you got Spokane, Washington, and you've got Oregon. That's a good thing, I would imagine. It's a shame that they're kind of both concentrated in 2 areas, but they're not very close to Arizona, which means travel dollars.
And we love that. And Oregon's been here before for the national championship game, and that's great. But these other 3 markets are new to Arizona. So we're going to be getting new folks who have maybe not been to Arizona, who are going to come and experience this great event and see all that there is. And then hopefully what we try to do is get them to come and enjoy the state while they're here. There's about 48 hours with no games, essentially, so they have some downtime to really get out and see Arizona. You could even do a day trip up to the Grand Canyon. So we're talking to people, and we're also encouraging them to come and stay late as well.
Makes it better to have colder weather areas here as well.
We always like that, because look at this weather that we're having right now. It's fantastic, and I can't imagine anybody not wanting to come and enjoy it.
We almost had the University of Arizona up here for the Final Four.
We did.
And we can talk about various aspects of that. But I would imagine, in terms of pure dollars, maybe it's a little bit better they didn't show up.
Well, yeah, on one hand, I looked at it as, and this is a very historic moment for our state to host this event ever. It's the first time in 25 years west of Texas. So I thought, with Arizona being in it, if they were to arrive, it would have added a little more to that historic value, but they didn't. And now we have 4 teams from 4 regions that are going to fill up our hotels. I think we've got the best 4 that we could have hoped for.
I would imagine, except for North Carolina, this is old news to them, but these other 3 schools, they haven't done this very often. A couple of them haven't done this at all as far as Final Four is concerned. That's got to be good for tourism dollars as well.
Oh, absolutely. If you think about it, you put yourself in the shoes of those fans. They've been rooting for their teams for how many, 10, 20, 30, 40 years. The alums that want to get out here, they will come and they will spend and they will have fun, and hopefully their team will win, but only one can.
Yeah. Who are these people now that come out here? How much do they spend? How long do they stay? And what do they spend their money on?
Well, we hope they're staying at least 4 days, because they'll come out and experience, you've got the games on Saturday night and on Monday night, so they'll be staying for about 4 nights, if not more. They're going to be spending money on all different kinds of things, and we know that. And I think what's the beauty about the Final Four, as Tom said, you've got the fans, you've got the alumni, you've got the student athletes and their families, and these are all people who may not normally travel like we do to Arizona, and so they're coming maybe for the first time, and what a great experience. And that's what we want, to make sure that they see the hospitality and the beauty of Arizona and really get a true experience of what we have to offer.
So we're talking food, we're talking restaurants.
Absolutely. Food, restaurants, bars.
Hotels?
Hotels, absolutely. And shopping is also a big thing that we know folks do when they travel.
And I was going to say, the 4 days now, is Sunday's the down day, correct?
Sunday's the down day.
So I would imagine, what goes on Sunday that gets these dollars rolling, the ripple effect continuing?
Well, you're going to have some great events in downtown Phoenix. You're going to have the Fan Fest, which will take place at the Convention Center. You're going to have the Dribble, where you've got 3,000 kids in downtown Phoenix dribbling basketballs through the streets. And you've got the Music Fest with Aerosmith and Chainsmokers, so you've got some great concerts going on as well. So I think that's going to bring a lot of people into downtown and give folks some fun things to do on their day off.
3,000 kids dribbling basketballs in downtown Phoenix. Holy smokes.
A little tough to control, but we'll figure it out.
I was going to say. Downtown Phoenix, Tempe, Scottsdale, Glendale, the epicenters here as far as spending and visitors and tourist dollars?
Well, we think it's the Phoenix metropolitan area. We'll all feel the effect of this, but also, as Debbie said, I heard a story once. I did not talk to the gentleman who owns the Pink Jeep tours up in Sedona, but he absolutely knows when we have events of this nature because his tours fill up very quickly. So I can see that happening on Sunday, and folks going to the Grand Canyon and going down south. So it's going to be spread out.
I would imagine if you make the effort to come out here this far, if you're coming from the East Coast or the Northwest, you better go find a Pink Jeep somewhere and go find a Vortex if you have to. As far as the Valley spending, I mean, how much do we spend, or do we know? Is this municipalities spending themselves, the state spending? How much do we spend to put this thing on?
Well, it's about a $13.5 million budget just to bring the event here, and that's every aspect of the event. Most of it's private money that's raised in order to host this event, and we know that. So it's a matter of just what we need to do to bring these companies in to understand the value and the economic impact. And then folks love to be a part of this event, and we were so blessed to have this event for the first time and to be able to go to people and talk about the historic, as Tom mentioned, the historic nature of this for us. So raising that money was a great effort by our team who did this, but we know that we have to keep that up in order to bring in more events.
And biggest challenge right now, you're days away here, everything...
Everything's coming together, and out at the stadium in particular, what you've done is created or changed a football venue into a basketball arena. We've hung a 100,000-pound scoreboard from the ceiling. We've installed 15,000 temporary seats. The list goes on, and if you were to look in there today, you wouldn't imagine that was a football stadium at one time. The folks out there have done a great job. Big team of people.
Exciting stuff. Well, good to have you both here. Congratulations. Good luck on this upcoming weekend. Thursday on Arizona Horizon, our Final Four coverage continues with a look at what it takes to put on such a big event. And we'll show you the restoration of the Harmon Park basketball court in Phoenix, done in conjunction with the Final Four. That is it for now. I'm Ted Simons. Thank you so much for joining us. You have a great evening. Yeah.
Arizona Horizon is made possible by contributions from the Friends of Arizona PBS, members of your PBS station. Thank you.